All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. My name is Tom, and I am a stay-at-home dad for 5 kids, and I'm a full-time eBay reseller. This is amazing. That is a Gibson. Probably from the, it's a cheap Gibson, but it's probably from the late 40s or the early 50s. So the only things we got at auction this time was $5 for a handful of bottles. Yeah. Martin and Martin Chicago. I don't know. One is Peru, Illinois beer. Mama? This one doesn't have any markings. I was hoping it would say like Dr. Unico's snake oil on it, but it doesn't. That's a Star Union Brew, Peru, Illinois. Another Peru, Illinois beer bottle. And this, probably the same thing, Spring Valley, Illinois Bottling Works. I had a couple of things I had intended to win at this auction this morning, but they didn't. I didn't come through on any of those, and I placed a bid on those thinking, oh, I'll take those if they go cheap while I'm buying other stuff. And then I forgot to, like, I was busy when the auctions were ending online, so I didn't place high enough bids, and that everything got away from me except for these bottles. So they're not worth showing up for, but I agreed to buy them, so I'm gonna do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. My name is Tom, and I am a stay-at-home dad for 5 kids, and I'm a full-time eBay reseller. I make it work on eBay, and that's why I'm able to stay home with my kids instead of working at a job where I have to pay somebody else daycare to raise my kids when, and I'm just working. We did the math when we started having a bunch of kids. I think when we got to 3 or 4, and we're like, one of us would just be working a full-time job in order to pay for the daycare that is necessary because we're both working a full-time job. Let's see what we can do about that. And we did both work for a while, and then we got to the place where we didn't have to because I grew the eBay to the point where I could do eBay from home. It takes a long time to get it to that point. I have 1,800 listings, and I sell I sell just short of 10 items a day on average. I'm at like 850 items over 90 days, which comes out to be about 9.5 items a day. And my average sales price is like $24, something like that. My goal in the next 90 days, because this is almost the end of first quarter, my goal for the summer slowdown is to do 40 listings a day, because what I'd like to do is get to the point where my wife doesn't have to work full-time, if I'm able to keep up with the bills. But if I list 40 a day, I should be able to make enough selling 0.5% of my store every day that we can make it work. You should be selling, a healthy eBay store sells between 0.5% and 1% of its self every day. So you should be at, like, I have 1,800 listings and I'm selling 9.5 items a day. If my store were super healthy, then I'd be selling 18 items a day, 1%. And that is that's the goal. You're not going, I don't know how eBay does it, but nobody has ever listed 100 items and sold them all that day as their first thing. Like, you don't sell out your eBay store. eBay pumps the brakes on you. And so you have to grow it slowly, and you have to have expectations that are, I'm going to sell between 0.5% and 1% of my store every day, kind of at a top end. I mean, there's probably people who are selling only the rarest things that have a huge following. Like, if you specialize in G.I. Joe and you grab a giant horde of G.I. Joes and you sell them right at that cusp of on market, then you could probably sell half your store in a day. But the average everything seller, but should be between 0.5% and 1% of your store selling every day. So you can get a good idea of, if I have 1,800 listings, I should be selling between 10 and 15 items a day. And that my average sales price is $24. So 10 24s is $240 in sales. I can look at my seller hub and say my seller hub tells me that my fees are about 33% between shipping and fees. And so then I'm getting 66% back, and then held back for taxes, I get a third of that. So there's a third that goes to eBay and shipping. There's a third that goes to selling, to paying federal income tax. But a third is high, but that's where I do it just to make sure I have more than enough. And then a third is my income. So at 1,800 listings and a third of my store being, or a 0.5% of my store being, I'm not making enough at this level to be the main income for our family. But if I think if I list, if I can keep good inventory that sells quickly, and I'm listing 40 a day, and I that doesn't seem impossible to me because I've been at it for a long time. It's gonna be hard, but if today's day one. Yesterday I listed like 12. So far today I've listed 12, and it's 11 o'clock, and I do most of my listing after dinner. Well, my day kind of looks like I list, or I take the kids to school, I come home and get Evelyn some breakfast, get her going on whatever she's going to do, and then I pull and pack orders. Right now I'm out in the shop and she's in the house. I am going to pull the orders, take them inside where I have some packing stuff, pack the orders and talk to her and keep her company. And then I'm going to come back out and print the labels, take them out to the post office. Then generally we'll go sourcing for an hour, 2 hours before we go pick the brothers up from school, help them do homework, help them get things going. And then when it's time for them to be done with homework and chores and stuff, then they can play video games and watch movies and stuff. And then dad takes pictures until it's time for dad to cook supper. And then I cook supper. I have the pictures on my phone. We eat supper. The kids clean up. Generally, I have them do the dishes. They're old enough that they can do their own dishes and laundry for the most part. We train them from really little to, like, Evelyn can get the stuff out of the dryer, put it in a basket, put the basket in the living room so that it doesn't stay in the laundry room and people don't know whether it's dirty or clean. She doesn't load the washer yet, but Caleb will load the washing machine and switch to the dryer, pull things out, and he even will pull them out and divide, this is mine, this is brother's, this is mom and dad's. He doesn't like turn things inside out and fold, but we get them going. So I assume you guys are interested in this stuff. Hit the thumbs up. If you're interested in what my life looks like, raising 5 children from home and trying to run an eBay business, let me know in the comments with the thumbs up. Tell a friend. This is kind of impromptu, but I feel like it's the kind of thing that answers some of the questions you guys are asking. So what does it look like for me to make it? I'm making the kind of money I would be making if I was working a retail job, and I have a high school diploma. I didn't go to college for one class, so I'm not gonna go to Caterpillar and work as an executive and make a whole bunch of money. But if I went and worked retail management, which is what most of my jobs were, or outside sales, commission sales for retail, I'm not going to make a lot more money than I'm making here, and I'm going to lose a lot because I'm going to have to pay for daycare and not be around my kids. And obviously with 5 kids, I like being around my kids. We didn't have this big, huge family because we don't like family. I hate seeing TikTok and stuff where people are like, I just need time away from my kids. My kids are so terrible. Your kids are a blessing. I love my kids. Now I'm ranting, and my wife texted me. Anyway, that's where my headspace is this morning. I have 30 items that I could ship today, but I only have to ship 5 because I have 2-day handling. So I only have to ship 5. So that's what I'm going to do. And then later this evening, if I get some time, I'm going to pull the other 20 and do a heavy shipping day tomorrow. So I just have 5. I'm going to go pull them. Okay, so I got these California raisins. This one's, the bag's a little bit open on, and this one isn't quite the same. But these are from 1991. They're not the old middle 80s raisins. They've got cards, but they're bent. Like, they're not perfect, but they're cool. California raisin stuff is selling again, which is kind of strange for me. These would have been worthless 5 or 6 years ago. It's starting to come up. I didn't buy these because I wanted to sell these. I bought a flat of things at an auction, and it had some toys in it that I did want, and these were in there. I'm going to list them. $12 free, $12.25 free shipping. Pretty sure $12.25 free shipping is an offer. I think I listed them for $13.99 and sent out an offer. This hoodie, it's not on a Marvel tag. It's on a Tall-Tex hoodies tag. And then it says Marvel, or it says Iron Man 2. But it does have the trademark things that you would expect. So, I don't know. I would have expected this to be, it says IronManMovie.com, Marvel. It's a little bit faded to try to see. This I expected to do really well, and then when it didn't, I was like, well, maybe it's bootleg, and I just didn't know that, but it doesn't seem to be. I've had it for a long, long time, and it sold for $14 plus shipping. That's something I'm going to stick in a legal flat rate envelope, which is right there, and it's going to cost me like $7, $7.90, I think, to ship, and the buyer paid $14. So when I sell hoodies and ship them, I could probably, like, I could do like $25 free shipping on this, but generally speaking, I do plus shipping on hoodies and crew necks, and then I absorb as profit the rest of that shipping charge, because the person agreed to pay $27 for this. They know what the shipping charge is going to be ahead of time. They might not know what their sales tax is going to be ahead of time. But in my opinion, that person agreed to pay me $27 shipped for that item, whether that was $1 plus $26 shipping or $27 free shipping. It doesn't really matter to the end user, in my opinion. It used to be that eBay didn't charge you final value fees on your shipping charge, which I think is the better way to go, and I think it's the way eBay would prefer to go. But so many sellers were selling things for $1 plus $95 shipping. So then eBay would only make 20 cents seller fee on that dollar instead of $20 on the 100, which is a much more fair ecosystem for eBay to continue existing and offering the service that I make a living off of. So I want them to make, people complain about eBay fees. eBay uses those fees to make a place where I can make a living. So if I'm paying a whole bunch of eBay fees, it's because they're helping me make a whole bunch of money. So I'm never going to complain about eBay fees, because you could pay lower fees on Facebook Marketplace and have to deal with all of that. And you could make a whole bunch of, you could list all your stuff on Mercari and pay a little bit lower fees and make no sales. eBay is the boss. Unless you're selling brand new items on Amazon, then your fees are higher, but they're going to make you money that makes up the difference. Higher fees, we're paying higher fees because we're working with a higher end user, eBay. So people who complain about fees, I feel like don't understand that eBay is so much better than, I mean, you pay lower fees at the daycare where somebody just got arrested in the middle of the daycare, but if you pay really high-end daycare, you're going to get kids who are taken good care of. eBay, your listings are going to get taken good care of, and your customers are going to be happy. I mean, there are problems anywhere, but people who complain about eBay fees, it just baffles me, because if I'm paying a whole bunch of eBay fees, it's because I'm making a whole bunch of money. But shipping a hoodie, if you charge £2 shipping, that is a reasonable cost for your customer, and then you put it in a legal flat rate envelope and you save half, you ship it for half of what they spent. This is the legal flat rate envelope. So it's the size of a legal piece of paper. And then you put your hand in here. I know I show this all the time, but I feel like somebody's going to be like, oh, what's that? So if you fold those corners up like that, now you have a big envelope. You fold the hoodie up like such and slide it in there, and you can ship that for $8 in a flat rate legal envelope. I don't think it would fit in a standard. I order the legal all the time. So that ships for $7.90, and £2 priority. The customer paid 14 bucks. Another crew neck. How about Alaska? The Alaskan flag. This sold for $29.99, free shipping. That jersey's crew neck and a 4X. Holy cow! That jersey's vintage crew neck. This is made in the U.S. is a good one. So that tag is the kind of sweatshirt. It fits right. It's comfortable. And once it gets worn in, so that's the kind of vintage crew neck people are looking for. But it still has to have a cool print on it. The Alaskan flag is, you know, people who live in Alaska, used to live in Alaska, parents are from Alaska, which my wife's parents are from Alaska, kind of. People who have ties to Alaska or vacations, like, it's an unusual thing and people like to talk about it, so then they wear the gear so that people will ask them about Alaska. So I know you're thinking, Tom, why would you do that one $29.99 free shipping and the other one as $14.99 and come to $27.50 plus, which is plus shipping? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know why one, but I mean, they basically came up to be the same price, essentially. Why would I put this one in a poly mailer before I put it in the flat rate envelope? Again, I don't know. But why would I make it this one free shipping and the other one not free shipping? I think that's a question people ask a lot about my thoughts on free shipping. I can't say what I was thinking the day I listed this one versus the day I listed that one. I am inclined to believe that free shipping bubbles things higher in the algorithm. You're more likely to be. Somebody said once that the statistics say that the 75, some large percent of the things that get bought on eBay are in the first 10 results of somebody's search. And so if you're not pretty high in the list, you know, you search Alaska crew neck sweatshirts, 25 come up, 15 never get seen, and one of those top 10 gets bought. Now, is a 4X vintage Alaska sweatshirt gonna have enough competition that I needed to have the free shipping in order to get the algorithm to raise mine higher? Probably not. But it seemed like the right idea at the time. I go back and forth. I waffle a lot. I don't have a store policy on it. I just do what I want to do at the time. Seems to be working so far. So while we're changing things up on the fly, this one only costs like 30 cents less, the standard flat rate. But I'm curious, this 4X does kind of fit. And so I could save 30 cents doing, if I had done the Iron Man one in this one probably, but I have the legals, a lot of the legals, and they're easy to work with, and they don't take much, they don't cost much more, and they're easy to work with. So that one did go, and I'll tape these when I go inside with them. I don't just let that glue be everything. So at the beginning of summer, I want to say, somebody got a hold of me and they're like, hey, I have a bunch of these vintage shirts from when my husband was a big NASCAR fan and used to wear these shirts all the time. I want to say this one's dated like 99. It's Dale Earnhardt. And it was a friend of the family, somebody that my wife calls her aunt, even though they're not blood relatives at all. So she's like, I just want rid of this stuff. I was going to donate it, but I thought of you. Tell people what you do, because that happened to me again this week. A guy that I've known for a long time gave me a PS3 because he was like, well, I was going to donate it, but I figure I get the same if I give it to you as if I donate it, and I can feel better knowing somebody that I know will get some benefit out of it. And I don't think of myself as a charity case. That's not what's going on. People just would rather, I think it gives people a buy-in. They feel like they are supporting what we're doing. Instead of donating it to Goodwill, they're helping to support our store. So anyway, I got these shirts. I got them listed, and I listed them for like $75 and $100 for 3 different ones, and they didn't sell and didn't sell and didn't sell and didn't sell and didn't sell. And I started getting these lowball offers, and I'm like, I really don't want to take those lowball offers. Why don't I run them all at 3-day auction? Because I bet they'll pop off and they'll get a lot of money. All of them sold for the starting bid of $30 a piece. So that's, I mean, it's free into $90, but I really hope that they would do better. And that one paid. The guy who won 2 of the other 2 hasn't paid. So maybe I'll run those again if he doesn't pay. Maybe I'll start them higher. I don't know. But I ran those on auction and it didn't pay off. I mean, it's fine. I will be happy if I get the other 2 paid for and $90 out of free. Fantastic. But I would say probably waiting for the right buyer, and a little bit more money would have been the way to go with those. And the last thing is another one of those deals where it was like something that I had, I wouldn't buy to sell, but this Desitin powder, this is an old can, and it's a sample. It's like a salesman sample thing. I bought a like grocery bag, or not a grocery bag, like a Ziploc bag at a yard sale for $1, and it had 2 Timex watches in it that I wanted, and I didn't do particularly well on them either. But I listed this because it's 3 pictures and 10 minutes less. Sold for $9.99 plus shipping. So, and it took a while to sell. I've had it since October because I know I got it at Spoon River Drive. Desitin, old tins can do well. I had some like Dutch cocoa tins that sold way faster than I thought they would. So things like this can do well if you pick them up for nothing. And I literally consider myself nothing into this, even though I paid something for it. I paid the something in order to get something else, and this was thrown in. So yeah, I'm printing the labels now, and they are literally 30 cents difference between the regular flat rate and the legal flat rate. And so much more will go in that legal when I order them. I just mostly order the legal ones because I don't know. When I order 75 of those, I have no idea what I'm going to be putting in them. But for 30 cents more, I'd rather have a little extra room. So we're walking them out to the mailbox, the 5 that I have to ship today. And somebody asked a question. Basically, they have a bunch of Xbox games, and they said, what's the most effective way to ship that stuff? Because it seems like other people are able to ship cheaper than I am. And what I would say, first class is the way to ship, unless you have more than 20 all going at the same time. Then you're up into the priority range, and maybe you're at the point where UPS might be cheaper, but you can't do media on video games, and first class on a single game is the best way to go. So why might somebody be able to ship cheaper than somebody who doesn't know the best way to ship a video game? And I have a couple of thoughts on that. There might be what I do on any Xbox game, any DVD, that I'm not going to send media. I put in 4 ounces because anybody, because the way first class works is that if you sell, I did close the door. If you are buying a label, you buy a 4 ounce label, you buy an 8 ounce label, you buy a 12 ounce label, a 13, 14, 15, 16 label, or how the prices go. So if you put 2 ounces, it's the same price as 4 ounces. If you put 5 ounces, it's the same as 8 ounces. So in the same way that I think we're all familiar with 1 pound, 1 ounce is really a 2 pound label when you're doing priority. 4 ounce, anything short of 4 ounces is a 4 ounce label, unless you're talking about a stamp and then you're not getting a tracking number, or maybe you're selling cards on the system that they do cheap card tracking, but I don't deal with that at all. And so 8 ounce, so it's 4, 8, 12, and then from 12 to 16, each of them have their own increment. And so think about it as being 4, you're buying labels 4 ounces at a time. Well, your Xbox game, complete with a manual, a thick manual, probably gonna weigh 9, 10 ounces, and so you're buying a 12 ounce label. But when I put in 4 ounces for that game, the buyer, if they're somewhere close, is probably gonna pay somewhere in the order of $5.75, $6 to pay for a 4 ounce label. But then when I go to print my label, my discount, and I put in the 12 ounce, I put in, 10 ounces, and it is the 12 ounce rate, my label is going to cost me like $4.65. So I'm basically giving up a little bit of my discount in order to be more competitive on the shipping. It's the same deal as free shipping, where I might work $4.50 on top of my price that I want to get to cover the price of that shipping. What I often do, if I'm charging shipping, most of the stuff that I ship priority, I put 1 pound on, even if I know it's 3 pounds. And then when I go to print the label, I put 3 pounds in. Or I ship, t-shirts are all 12 ounces, 11, 12, big heavy ones that might be 14, 15. I put 4 ounces in on every t-shirt because my customer is going to pay like $5, $6, $6.50 shipping. And for $6.50 shipping, I can buy a 13 ounce, 14 ounce label. And if they're region A, region B, then it'd be even less than that. And so just kind of understanding how you buy labels and approximately what the costs are and approximately what your discounts are, you can kind of work the system to be like, well, if I put this in at 4 ounces and it ships at 10, I'm going to still make enough to cover the cost of the envelope and not make extra money on the shipping, and be more competitive with other people who are their price plus shipping, but they're putting in the actual weight, and so bumping those customers up to paying another $1 or $2 on shipping, and that person's making an extra $1 on shipping, but I'm a more competitive price and not losing money on shipping. So that is what I would suspect. If you're seeing shipping prices that feel out of whack, you're probably seeing people like me who are working the system to your advantage, understanding how shipping is charged both to the customer and to you, the seller, and working the difference to favor everybody. I don't want a customer to have to pay a whole bunch of money on shipping, but I don't want to set my store up to where they get my shipping discount every time, because I'm just not down to the brass tacks every penny enough to know that I'm not going to need to make something here and there on shipping. So hopefully that answers your question. The best way to ship an Xbox game is first class in a poly mailer, or not a poly mailer, either a poly mailer wrapped in bubble wrap or a padded envelope, and then you put them at 4 ounces, and then when you go to ship them, you weigh them and put in the actual weight, and chances are good what the buyer paid for shipping will more than cover the price of your shipping label and your envelope, or maybe you lose 15 cents, but you got the same. That's my suspicion on the answer to the question that you got. Hi everybody. Boom. It is not busy in Goodwill today. So it's like 12:30, and here we are. Let's see if anything at this store. I like to come on Mondays because I kind of make the assumption, based on observation of being here a lot, that Monday they don't do a lot of sorting on weekends and they get a lot of donations on weekends. And so if you come in on Mondays, then you're going to see a lot of the stuff that gets donated over the weekend. Evie, you're in slow-mo. You're so funny. Whoa, now you're in fast mode. These are kind of interesting. They are track lights, vintage, new old stock, by Kitty, who makes smoke detectors. Boy, but I'm not sure my theory's holding up, because I'm not seeing a lot of anything interesting at all. I wonder how much these are. Those shoe boxes have been 11 to 12 bucks. 20. It's probably consistent with where they've been pricing them at.
Dad, look how many people this has. It has 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
But I only have that. I only have her. Her is holding somebody. But her's holding some. The first time her is holding a big book, but now her is holding a small book.
So I had these in my hand the other day, and I mean they are small, like not quite big, not much bigger than my hand small. Size 6. And they're drawn on the bottom, but they're in an unbelievable shape. They're glamper, like camper, glamorous camper, glamper is the name, the type. And Woolrich is normally good quality. $6 if they were bigger or cheaper, and they didn't have that stuff on the bottom of them. That's kind of where I'm at on them. They're cool, and if they were bigger, I'd probably get them even with that stuff at $6, but I think we're gonna skip them again. What are these? Freeman. Yeah. Those are nice looking Toms. Ooh, are these good? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna guess no. Classic JCPenney. Nope. They're close, but they're not. Evelyn, is this too big a pillow, or is that just the right size?
What?
This yellow pillow.
Too big.
Too big? Okay. Disney Pixar Lightyear. Some kind of play set. It's 40 bucks. It's huge. I doubt it's anything. It looks like it's new old stock. It looks like it's like a Target return or something. It's the gray tags that they use. Have most, if not all of those. So there's a bunch of Dogman, and if we don't have them, I bet they'd flip because they're only 50 cents a piece.
Dad,
And then this big mate
one.
I'm not familiar with. Okay, we'll get them. And then what is this? I don't know what that is either. This is kind of an odd mounted police, sheriff and deputies SWAT service. It's like kids version of bicycle police patrol, like police stuff, bomb squad detection, and mounted police. You don't see a lot of mounted police in the United States, not really, at least where I'm at. Maybe these are Canadian books or something. So this is the Southern Reach trilogy, I guess. Oh yeah, there it is, book 3. Those are the 3 books. When I comped one, I found the name, and then now I see it on here, but I don't know anything about these, but they matched, and I pulled them up, and I comped one, and for 50 cents a piece, they should bring about 25 bucks. So this is $2.59, and it's behind glass, and it is cool. It's like kind of cheaply printed, you can see, but it's neat. The ancient history of the surname Kelly. So they've just kind of priced me out of buying jeans. I'm not going to spend $9 on Lucky jeans. So this old school jerseys tag, we already talked about that tag being good. Single stitch USC for $5. Yes, that is baby size. Single dangle, top and bottom, and in the shoulder. Let's look at another shirt, and it has a double stitch, top and bottom, and in the shoulder. So there's 3 more Lucky brand, the exact same. These would be a surefire get if they were $6 or $7. But at 10, I'm just like, are they gonna sell quick? And I don't like taking pictures of pants. 2007 Jimmy. It's $4.99 no doubt, and I bet it's a small. It looks small. Medium. Yeah. It's the kind of thing that I definitely would have picked up at $2.99, and now I don't find good stuff enough that I feel like this is a good find, and I probably wouldn't have 2 years ago. Coogee Heritage line. Really nice big shirt. This is not worth picking up. I don't think at any price. The sweaters do really, really well. I've never sold anything else well. All right, so I don't know about this. Youth, I think it's a lacrosse, a grill softball. Defensive fielder's mask. We'll see about that. I did decide I'm not getting this. These things came out on the new cart. This is a Xbox 360 Connects thing. $5. I'm not sure that's worth getting. We'll look into it. This Bose with the remote, $6. Here he comes with another cart. So normally I don't look at collectible plates, decorative plates, but I happened to pick this one up, and it's a Fenton, and it's $2.59. So we're gonna check it. Another brand new cart. $6.04 for these cameras. Last time I bought security cameras, I did really, really well. These look like they're cheap, but you never know. This is probably just going to be for in the van. Digital tire gauge. I can never find a tire gauge. This is a nice Rydell mini helmet, and it's autographed. I don't know who it's autographed by yet, but $41 for the Rams. If it's Jerome Bettis, then I have to give it away. Somebody just bought $27 worth of CDs. Found this. No battery cover. $3.49. I think I should pass on this, but I think I'm going to get it for decoration rather than for sale. And then these are $1.99. They're cool looking. I'm going to look them up and see if there's any sold comps. Okay, so I spent $70.74. So I'm not going to say what I paid for every single thing, but I will try to run a total of everything, what I think everything's worth at the end of the day. Jimi Hendrix shirt. We got a pile of Dogman books. I guess those are going in now. 1, 2, 3 Dogman. There's more than that. 4, 5 Dogman books. And 5 of these Big Nate books. Evie got some coloring books, and Evie got some shoes that are way too big for her, but they won't be for too much longer. This USC shirt I'm pretty excited about. This Schoolhouse Rock shirt is awesome. I doubt it's worth much. We got 3 of these Supergirl. It's number 1, 2, and 3 in the series, and so those should do okay. I don't know. This Bose thing, Stephen King, it's nice paperback Signet. I didn't check to see if it's first. This is a first printing Signet first. So like it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As they make different editions, those numbers would click off of there, so it would be missing the 1 or the 2 if it's the 3rd edition. If it's the 7th edition, then it's missing all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Evie is holding this thing. We paid $2.58. Still haven't figured out who number 41. That would be the St. Louis Rams because it's from 1995. So I haven't figured out who that is yet. These guys are just cute salt and pepper shakers. I figured they can't hurt. We'll look at the bottom. Fiji. This guy probably more a decoration than anything. This I think is probably 20 bucks. This series we talked about in there, $1.50 into 25 bucks probably.
Dad, talk about that.
That we're gonna keep for the van. That's just a tire pressure gauge, and I can't find my other one. That would have been in the other van. It probably stayed in there. Fenton, probably not worth a fortune. This I didn't comp, but I think I did well enough on everything else that even if I break even on that, ain't gonna hurt me too bad. Bose thing. The security camera is new open box, but it's only one camera, so I don't know. And then this thing's neat. I should stop buying framed art because it's gonna be a pain to ship, and I didn't comp it to see if it's actually worth anything. So I'm pretty sure we said like that was 12:30 when we came in. Now it's got to be 2:15 because my alarm just went off saying it was time 2:29. So we were in there for 2 hours to collect that much stuff. So I mean, it's not like you just run in and find every good thing on the shelf and leave. I went in and they hadn't had any carts go out all day, talking to one of the ladies that works here, and we mulled around for a couple minutes and carts started coming out, and most everything we bought was something we pulled off a cart. Either new clothes rack or new material coming out of the back rack. And so you're not gonna, people ask me how I do so well with Goodwills. People are surprised that I find this stuff at Goodwill. And the reality is I spend 2 hours of time. I go in, I spend 2 hours waiting on new carts to show up, and I'm not gonna elbow an old lady over getting it. Some lady was boxing me out when we just saw this cart come out, and I'm not that guy. I'm just gonna, so I stepped back. I'm like, I'm not gonna play that game with you. So and I still managed to get that Bose system off of that cart. So we're not looking for the same thing, she and I, so she doesn't need to be rude and box me out, but whatever. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Tell them to like and comment and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Tell them to see you on the next one.
See you on the next one when I'm bigger and wear shoes. when I'm bigger and I wear shoes, I'm going to be Santa.
So, right now, it's 4 o'clock. The kids are doing homework. The laundry is spinning. And I got everything that I just bought at Goodwill processed. So I have photos on my phone. We're going to go to the track meet. I'm going to probably list during the track meet. But with the 18 items that I have to list from the shop, I'm still, and the 12 I listed this morning, I'm still 10 shy of my goal.